undertake something, no? Black played at this point to move c5. Good choice or bad choice? Good choice or bad choice? Anyone? What does this have to do with pawn majorities? Bad choice, says Chess Crash O'Brien, Princess Lily, and so on. Aha. Bad choice. That's what they played in the game. They lost patience. It's not a material mistake. They don't lose material by doing this. If you thought that if we can somehow take the pawn on b7 in the end, it's not true because black will take on d1 and deflect the bishop from the attack. The problem is of more strategical nature. So anyone remembers how did white continue here? It was not very difficult, no? It was not difficult. I'll pick one student. Ararat, you will show us, Ararat. How did white continue at this point? Did they push the pawn or did they do something else? Let's see if you remember what we looked at last time. If you can't remember, you can look in the chat also because some students here are saying the move. Okay, maybe you need more time to think out. Okay, d takes e5. What happened now is that we had a structure without any majorities, basically. No, we have 4 here and 3 there, but it doesn't really count right because there is a pawn here also or something. But the moment this happens, now it's different. Now we have a 3 versus 2 and a 4 versus 3, right? After black takes back, we have, sorry, we have 1, 2, 3 versus 2 on this side, and black has their majority. But I mean, we can forget about black's majority in this game. No way they will ever be able to push the pawns, right? That would be like science fiction in this position. Yeah, sorry, please go ahead, Ararat. Yeah, he did actually take first on d7. You could have played like that also. I don't think it makes a big difference, though. I'll take back, and we basically get the game here, the way you play. So this is how it happened in the game. Black took back on d7, and white played at this point. Or maybe you remember, this was like the easy way to play. b4, and later on maybe we can push c5. The game took some more complex twists in this game. Yeah, thanks, Ararat. He played in the game rook e5, and we talked about this last time, that after queen c7, he got a little impatient here, the Indian Grandmaster Raja. He played g4 at this point. He got a little impatient. By the way, this plan with g4, it's a very good plan. You could use it here, for instance, if black plays something else, like some waiting move or something. Maybe then you can slowly push the pawn. But at this point, we said it was not correct because black had a... Yeah, exactly. You're right, Princess. Black played in the game the very tempting move, rook d8. And then we got this endgame. And I made a mistake here. Yeah, I made a mistake here later. We got to this position. And I remember now, it was Sui Random who said queen f4, taking the pawn. And somebody said here at some point, free pawn, somebody said. And I didn't understand you back then. Too much noise, you would say in the chat. But anyone remembers now, which pawn should white take here? It's very easy, no? Which pawn should white take? Of course, Ararat, you're right. We should take this pawn. So that's what everybody was screaming last time. I simply didn't notice. But now we can see this. So that's the reason why in the game, Scabs with the black pieces played queen d4 instead, to take it like that way. But then he just took on b7, and the queen came back later, and white went on to win the game. And you can see that we still have the majority, right? Now it's a 3+1 situation. Black should have played instead queen d8, this subtle move, and then play rook d3. But okay, that doesn't matter now. What I want you to understand was that the position got worse for black, right? They shouldn't have played c5. It was a tempting move. You would say, oh, I need to liberate myself. But they should have played something else, like maybe we were saying, put the queen here or something. If white plays like that, well, what can you play? Maybe like go back with the knight. Sui has a question. Can I play black after queen takes f7? Oh, I didn't see, Sui. We can do that, but don't forget that we have some other examples that I would like to look at. But this is the position where you want to play black. Sure. I hope Sui... I don't have to play. No, you can play. You can get the black pieces. But let's do it quickly, all right? Tell us, where is the interesting counterplay? Oh, I just want to make a comment. Okay, we're all waiting for your comment. You want to play e4 maybe? Is that the move? I thought I could maybe move the... Oh, yeah, I see. Maybe I can move the bishop or something bad happens to me there. Oh, e5. It was actually my turn. Oh, sorry. You played e5. Okay. Everybody feel free to participate, no? Maybe you can see things, or you can sure see things faster than me. Queen somewhere, no? Queen e6 maybe. Trying to get the trade on e6. Yeah, that's what Ararat says also. And if e4, I go bishop e2, Sui. I'm dreaming about trading queens here at some point. But also I'm like denying you of e3. So you want to play what? e4, bishop e2, and queen d2. Okay. One idea I have here is if I could play g5, queen f5, and take on f6. But I agree that it got a little more complex than what I wanted in the first place. What do you think, guys? Is that possible? I get the feeling that Sui will trick me here in some way. You have some trick coming up here, right? G5. Yeah, I wanted to take. Yeah, I have a bad feeling here. I have a bad feeling. Something will happen. Something bad will happen to me here. Maybe you can play king h6 also. I think I messed up the move order, right? I should probably start with the queen check, right? I'll start with the queen check. Yeah, yeah. Next move g5. Isn't there a draw? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a computer. There is surely a draw somewhere. This is actually decent. Yeah, okay. I'll continue with g5 then. I don't know, but it's not the way I wanted it. Don't. I hope nobody gets me wrong. No, it's not what I wanted. This is not my ideal conversion. But yeah, you have to show your point to Sui. I'm waiting for you. But it got more interesting that it had to, probably. Yeah, okay. Trading off pawns usually helps the defending side. Okay, we're waiting. Everybody else, feel free to come up with, yeah, any observations now. But I mean, we're up a pawn, right? White is up a pawn. In queen endgames, that's usually a good sign. Um, okay, Sui, we're running out of ideas now. So interesting idea. Maybe this was the best try for black. We will continue. I have many examples here that I would like to look at. Knight h7. Yeah, I guess I can check you then and take the knight. So interesting. Hopefully one glorious day we will come back and look at this. What I wanted everybody to understand, the move c5 might be a good move in the Caro-Kann in general. I can actually I can like contradict myself if you want, or not exactly, but I can give you a recent example from the Chess Olympiad where something similar happened. It happened in this game. Let me see. Just to get the other side of the coin, so we don't paint everything black and so on. You're right, Happy Pawn. Maybe if you play the caro, keep the pawn on c6. But say that to Michael Adams in the next example. So this was what Michael Adams had in the Olympiad. Armenia with white and England with black. White played bishop g2. Anyone, what do you think Adams played here? What's the best plan for black? You can see it's slightly similar. Now we have basically the same kind of pawn structure. Mecha Mortis says c5. Yeah, so basically you're right, Mecha. He didn't play it right now. Well, what might be the difference? If you play this here, I'm afraid I might end up a pawn up, right? Can I take and play bishop e3, or is that a crime to play like that? I have c4 also, maybe, Mecha. I have c4 perhaps, and I can take this pawn. Even I would start looking at this pawn. Yeah, I don't know. Knight b4 says Yong Jiao. Interesting. I don't know. Should I believe in this, or you have great compensation here? I have no idea. You have some tricks over here. No need to rush. Knight takes before, then bishop takes and c6. I thought everybody would say this move, but I think it's too good to be true, right? I don't think this works. I think black can just take and white can take and cash in and so on. It looks beautiful, but we probably need more pieces to make this work. Some tricks like that. Yeah, you know what we said? Give back material, right? Give back material in the defense. Instead of stubbornly defending, exactly, Sui, we will play bishop e3. Everybody understands? Give back material when defending. We had this some months ago, I think. We talked about this, defensive methods. So good to see now. If you're very materialistic, you play rook b1, but then you might also run into trouble now. I don't know. Or maybe that it's just a draw in that case. I actually don't know. Anyway, interesting idea, c5. What did Michael Adams do? He prepared it instead. He prepared it. So he simply played. You're right. Princess Unicorn, you can show us. Princess will show us. That's exactly what Michael Adams played. Rook c8, white castle. So after black's next move, isn't that the same thing as the other example, you would say? Perhaps not, no, perhaps not. Maybe this fixation of the pawns in this way helps black, right? They play like that, bishop takes. It's funny that white could get the bishop pair like this, like the double bishop pair. But even so, black will probably be okay here. Question, after rook d1, where should the queen go? Anyone, where would you put the queen? Aha, you're right, Brian, to c7, right? And I think this is part of the story. White has like a slight problem with the f4 pawn. And also the pawn majority, our topic, it's not exactly easy to push the pawns right now. Like if you go back and you see the previous example that we talked about, we had this structure now. Here it's a different story. Here it's easier to push these pawns. We have the pawns fixed like that. So I guess that's one way to understand it. So yeah, I just wanted to say that you can actually go for c5. It's not a crime to play c5, but it depends on the position, of course, and to some extent you would say about the pawn structure. It's not so easy for white to push the pawn. So he played something else in the game, Sargsyan. This was not one of the most entertaining games at Olympiad. Michael Adams played in extremely solid way. Queen c7, knight takes, rook d1, and he simply played here the move b6. Yeah, why did he play that? I think he was basically aiming at knight f4, and he didn't want to drop this pawn. And everyone can see the cheapo, right? Everyone sees the cheapo. What happens if white takes twice on d5? Anyone? Majorities, your fastest here. Aha, bishop takes and queen g3. So, of course, Sargsyan, no way he will run into this cheap tactic. But even so, it's a good move, b6. I mean, in general, not putting a trap. It's just a useful move to keep the pawn protected. Yeah, this was not a very entertaining game. So we will leave it. No, we will leave it. They later on made a draw in this opposite color bishop's endgame. So yeah, food for thought. Sometimes c5 is a perfect move in the. If you don't play that, you get how do you say, asphyxiated here, right? Choked in the end. You need to do something with the black pieces here. So I think he did the right thing. So anyway, we will continue. All right, we will continue. This was just a little off topic. Now we will continue with one more example from the Chess Olympiad. There was this game again involving England. This was from the match Jones with white and black fresh in net. You can see again we're back in the same opening. Which opening is this? We had already a few examples now on this opening. It became very popular nowadays. Yeah, exactly, Princess. It's the Catalan, or you would say, I would say it's rather the reverse Benoni. No, nobody said that, but yeah, you can call it. For me, a Catalan has a white pawn on d4, but yeah, let's not fight about names. So Neo-Catalan happy pawn, that's what I would call it also. So white played. I think everybody can imagine what the English Grandmaster played here. I'll give you only 30 seconds. For the next move here, what did we learn about pawn structures? What did we learn about pawn majorities? He did not play knight e4. I think he wanted to keep that move in the pocket. Knight e4, maybe queen e7, and black can start thinking about b5. We have many winners here. Fastest of everyone here, Chess Art, Nicole, RKDK, Princess, Lily, Pop Fisher, Sue, Awesome Owen, Crusher, Metza, Vish, Yongjal, Happy Pawn, Beta Chess, Brian, Gordon. So yeah, almost 20 students got this right. Fastest of everyone was Chess Art. Raise your hand, Chess Art, please. I can't find you manually, unfortunately. Okay, so show us, Chess Art. What did white play here? We can do this later if we exactly a3 to push b4. That's what Jones played. Knight e4 is possible. Maybe it gives me a chance to push f5 later. No, that's my majority, right? That's my majority on this side. So he played a3, and something interesting happened here. Fressinet noticed that he can't really stop b4, right? You can't stop it. If a4 is just dropping a pawn, we don't have any good discoveries now. So he took prophylactic measures here. He played the move bishop e8. Useful move, right? Getting the bishop out of the way, clearing a path for the rook. And he's waiting for white to play b4. If you don't play b4, I had a long look at this example. I won't bore you with all the details. But if white says, I won't play b4, they play some other move. Like, for instance, you put your queen here first. It's interesting that black can soon start pushing the pawns. And the bishop could be redirected to f7 in that case. All right. So, yeah, sorry, I was not looking in the chat. Create kingside initiative, exactly. Push the pawn majority, you could also say, Princess. So, bishop e8 was played. White continued with the plan. b4. Black took on b4. And I think the next move, everybody will, by now, understand what Fressinet had in mind here. So let's see if we can get this right. I'll give you just 1 minute because I don't think it's so difficult. So how is he going to neutralize this pawn majority? That's what we're talking about today. How to neutralize a pawn majority, or even here a passed pawn. So random, congratulations, you have found this. Pattern in some openings like the King's Indian and the Benoni. Sheng and Princess, you also found it. Yong Jial and Freya, that's a possible move. It gives me some additional possibilities, maybe, no? What could I play in that case? Interesting. I'll have to think about that. That 94 move that somebody said here maybe might come useful now. If you play b6, I go, well, anyway, many other students got it right. We had Sui, Cheng, Princess, Beta Chess, Ararat, Owen, RKDK, Mecha Mortis. So b6 or b5, that's a big question here, right? Push one step or two steps. But I think that is a tactical problem with b6. Let's ask somebody who, Fianchetto, you also got it. Congratulations. We can ask Beta Chess. You haven't said anything. No, Sheng, I think, is the indicated student. Sorry. Please go ahead, Sheng. Sorry for coming late. No problem, Patriots. Don't do that in school, though. There you need to be always timely. No, b5, that's what Fressinet played. This pattern, you can find it in the Benoni with white, for instance. We will have a look at an example, right? This is not new or anything. If white moves away the rook in this case, there is a pawn hanging. But even if black wouldn't have this move, they could be quite happy, reasonably happy that they have blocked the pawn majority, right? We have moves like rook a4, for instance, and so on. But okay, I understand. Everybody wants to take the pawn, of course. Anyway, so after pawn takes, bishop takes, b5, where is the knight going, Sheng? Aha, we play knight. Can I show next time? Sure, Beta, if you get it right. So knight a5. Now everybody understands also when Jones played a3 and after bishop e8, b4, it was very important to take first. If you don't take first, if you play here b5 instantly, anyone, what would be the problem with that? Can you explain the difference? Aha, bravo, Princess and RKDK. In that case, white can play b5. This is actually a clear advantage for white. Then white can play a4. One problem here is activity, right? We don't have a lot of activity in this position. Also, white has no weaknesses. Once the rook leaves, the knight can go there. This is not what happened in the game. Please just look for 1 second now at this position and compare it now with what will happen in the game. He takes first on b4. You would say it's because we want to clear the a file. Well, I mean, that's also useful. But even more important is that you have this square for your knight. So basically, black's point here is that the pawn can actually be weak. The passed pawn can be weak. I have this in my book about strategy in the passed pawns chapter. A few examples where the passed pawn can actually turn into weakness. It happens in some openings like the Grunfeld, for instance. So anyway, what was the difference with b6 then? Anyone, can you tell me the difference? How would you continue with the white pieces here? Aha, I think so, Mecha. I would play b5, and if knight a5, I mean, we have this enticing exchange sacrifice. I don't know. Those of you who like Petrosian games and so on will probably play like that and just say that we are clearly better. But in these computer days, you never know, right? It looks extremely pretty for white. I agree. But yeah, maybe Sui. Or you want to take with the pawn on c4? I don't think so, no. You don't give me the pass pawn with the knight. So maybe that's possible. Another possibility I was thinking of was if we play knight e4 and then we take this pawn, right? We had that in the pocket all the time. I don't know. Does that make sense? And you take like that? Because right now we're 2 pawns up, right? So maybe you can keep those 2 pawns. Maybe rook c1. Oh, rook c1 is what Mecha Mortis says. Just go back with the rook. But then you're hanging the pawn, Mecha, or what are we talking about? It's not here, I guess. Yeah, no. So I don't know. A few different ideas. I agree. c6 looks very aesthetic, looks very beautiful. But those of you who like to take pawns, you could maybe consider something like that also. Or maybe there is something even better, yeah. Knight e4 doesn't work. This don't work. That's bad English, by the way. Rook takes d4, but okay, chess is more important than English. Why didn't this work? B takes e5. I have something over here, right? You're not worried about that? Or I can't take advantage of that. Interesting. I will look for some exchange, some sacrifice. Yeah, you're probably right. Knight hang on d4. No, I can perfectly see that. Good point. Yeah, maybe this is not good for white then. So he says we should play his variation with c6. So we will do that. Yeah, and then we don't, but without the knight e4, of course. I understand. We should play it here. Okay, I think we are on the same page then. c6 and white gets a very nice grind in this position. No, we're actually only down one point. No, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Oh no, it's a clear exchange, right? Clear exchange. But it looks devastating. Yeah, it looks devastating. You'll have to look for some plan here. I don't know exactly how you progress. The bishop is dead. Which bishop is dead? This one is not dead. It can come back to life in this way, right? How will you break through? That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Also, I mean, like everyone else here. How would you actually progress from here? Maybe you can send a knight like that or something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, we can at least agree that it's not practical to do this now. It's much more practical to play b5. Why on earth would I bother to consider this variation, burn 10 minutes on the clock on that if I can just play b5 instantly, like Fressinet did? So, all right, b5. This is what happened in the game. C takes, bishop takes. After b5, knight a5. Here it seems Jones lost the track of this position. It's very complex, very complex. He played in the game rook c1. Point being that bishop takes b5 is a bad idea, right? What would happen here? Quickly, rook b1, thanks. Metza, two bishops on the same file. But somehow Fressinet, he just ignored the pawn. He played useful moves here, rook b8. So I don't know. It's a strange game, no? You would say white got what they wanted. They created the passed pawn. They have no bad pieces. All the pieces are reasonably active. But somehow black is also very solid in this position. So black went on to win this game. Yeah, rook e5 was played in the game. Already that's a strange move, no? But he needs to protect the pawn. Queen e7. Yeah, why do you play queen e7? I'm thinking, what might be the reason? You want to play f6 maybe? Maybe, no? Kick away the rook and then take the pawn. That's modern chess, right? Maybe. Queen c2 was played in the game. And here he did not play f6. There must be a good reason why he didn't play it. Anyone? There has to be a good reason why he did not like to play that move. Rook h, no, I cannot go to h5. Forget about that. Yeah, I actually don't know. Maybe he didn't like the weakness on e6. No, maybe the rook goes back and he felt this was annoying to have that weakness. Bishop h3, knight h4, says Sui. Yeah, possibly. No, queen a2 is another move. Maybe you can have in the pocket at some point. So he played in a very nice way, Fressinet. He played here knight b7, maneuvering the knight to d6, where it will touch the pawn. Knight h4, that is Sui's move, attacking and black defending, knight e6. Queen b3, funny way that they had to protect his pawn in the game, right? Rook dc8. I have this principle, no? When, how will you say? When one side, we can write it here, yeah. When one side has connected rooks and the other side doesn't, fighting for an open file becomes logical. No, I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. Now the rook is busy defending this pawn, so it's not back at home helping the other rook. That's why he's fighting for the open file. No thanks, says Jones. Plays rook b1. Rook c3 is like a tempting move to play, but no, he plays in a very disciplined way here. Bishop d8. Anyone tell me two functions? We will come to that, Sui. Two functions of bishop d8. Why did he play that? One, hit the pawn. And two, exactly, Santos, we're hitting the knight also. Yeah, very deep play, no? There were other more tempting moves, right? There were other more tempting moves. Many of us would play rook c3 instead. But I guess he didn't want to commit. Maybe there is queen. Where would the queen go? Queen b4. There must be some tactic somewhere around here, right? Would he play put the queen down? I can't really see it. Something's going on. He's, like you say, he's cooking something here. Knight e4. Is that what he wants to play? Anyone good with tactics can see this clearly? That rook is a mysterious piece to me. I don't know what it's doing apart from protecting the pawn. Yeah, who knows? Maybe black has some fantastic way to keep the battle going. Knight f5 maybe. Knight c8. Yeah, maybe. No, knight c8, maybe I can play queen c4 and hit this rook. I don't know. Am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? This is coming also RKDK maybe. I don't know. Strange tactic. Now I don't believe in black's in white's position, but anyway, Fressinet, he didn't want to mix things up. No, he played it in a very cautious way. He playing this move bishop d8. I like it. It's much simpler, just to take a free pawn like that. Bishop a5. You're right, Sui. That was always a good move. Bishop a5 was also possible. I guess here he didn't play it because of knight c4. Maybe the knight is hanging, so I don't have so many choices. No. Or queen a2 maybe. Queen a2, Sui. Can I play like that and just give you the pawn and hope that things are all right? Not really, no. No, black seems to be much better here. Yeah, I agree. I don't have a good answer. Why didn't he just take the pawn like that? I guess when you have many good choices, you pick one of them and then you don't count too much. So he played bishop d8 in the game, and somehow white collapsed here. Queen d1, queen c7. This was hanging, and yeah, the game was something like this. Yeah, complete disaster now. Complete disaster. Black's a pawn up. They have a better pawn structure. Weakness on d3. Black went on to win. Anyway, I don't know how interesting you guys found this example, but I found it kind of interesting because I know this plan with b5, the b5 break. I thought it worked out very well like that, b5, and later on he worked on this weakness. So yeah, when you see this example, you start thinking of the Benoni I was saying. So back to the 20 years back in time, game played by Grandmaster Ryazantsev with the white pieces in the Benoni. Black played just here king h7. So black is protecting the pawn on h6. Everybody, blind man can tell here. Black's next move, of course, you got it. Black wants to play b5. You wanted re-quiz. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the quiz. Sure, we can do the quiz if you like. Coming back to Gawain Jones and Laurent Fressinet. Here we are again. White played a3. All right, guys, we will do the quiz. Remember the first very solid move by Black, prophylactic move by the French Grandmaster, very useful move. Okay, 30 minutes, will that be okay? Don't play b5 here. Believe me or not, I looked at that also. Don't play it here, it's different. After that, you don't have the weakness to work on. You'll see, you'll see. Okay, Vish, Sui, Ararat, Sheng, Princess, Brian, Metsamortis. Wow, I lost count here. Nicole, Pop Fisher, Tori, you all got it right. Yeah, some of you wanted to play b5 instantly. Like I'm saying, I had a little look at that also, but it's compromising. If you play that here, it's committal. I mean, I can take and I have this square to work on. I don't have a weakness anymore on b4. For instance, this was the line I was looking at. Queen e2 to send the rook over. Black could play something like rook c8 themselves. White sends the rook. I tried Fressinet's move here, bishop e8, but all of you can guess White's next move here, right? Who is good with tactics? You will see this in 1 second. Yeah, you're all skilled with tactics. RKDK, Chessbit, Freya, Sui, Metsamortis, Happy Pawn, Princess, and many other students got this right. Knight x4, that's a little too ambitious. No, Knight x4, your queen is hanging down. Those of you who said that. Brian also got it right. Aha, okay. Who was fastest? Fastest was RKDK. Oh, we were still waiting for more answers. So once you have the open file dominated, you have a lot of tactics going on there. So this was just a simple tactical exercise. RKDK, would you mind raising your hand? RKDK, thanks. Tell us, please. Decisive move, perfect harmony in the white camp. Something is hanging over here. White wins. Material, please don't play knight x4 because I can then counterattack your queen. So those of you who said b5 on move 1, please notice the difference. You should probably wait for them to commit with b4. So if you play b5 here, I can play in this simple way, and I'm not as exposed anymore. We will actually come back slightly to this in the next example, this kind of thinking. So, okay, who was going to show the solution here after a3? Who was fastest? I don't even remember. Pop Fisher. Nicole. I have a question, says Princess. What was your question? RKDK it was, right? No, RKDK showed this one. No, this was RKDK. In the previous one, who was fastest? Can I go? You want to go somewhere? No problem. Have fun. Chessart. No, Chessart was already talked today. I forgot completely. Sorry. Princess, tell us your question. What was your question? When you play b5 first, sure? We are listening. White gets the c4 square for the knight. Correct. I mean, you get it in the other line also. But in the game, White has an issue with the b pawn, right? If that's what you mean. First, let me know who should show it, okay? RKDK already showed, so we have to pick someone else. Pop Fisher, yeah, Pop Fisher. All right, Pop Fisher, go for it, Pop Fisher. How did Black continue here? Sneaky prophylactic move. We're kindly waiting for them to play before we play a useful move here. But we have some extra options also, like we can redirect the bishop maybe to the other side. Who knows? In any case, we can agree that the bishop is not ideally placed on d7. So okay, now when white commits with b4, we will come to that, Princess. I like your scientific touch to this. What if I don't do this and so on? What happens in that case? That's smart thinking. True chess players think like that always. So I guess this partly answers your question, right? If I play this, the computer wanted to play this move. It says it's the best move. I can perfectly understand that Jones didn't want to put his rook. It looks ridiculous, the rook there, right? And black would play like that. This looks very nice for black. I don't remember what else did the computer say, but we have some ideas for black. It looks to me like black is clearly better, but I know they were not. But I like black's position. Maybe that's more important. It's not too ridiculous. Yeah, I agree with you. But it looks strange to have a rook on that square. But I mean, it's doing something correct. But you can see, Tori, it's not ridiculous for you, but Jones preferred to keep the rook on the open c file in the game. I think many players will make the same choice. Active play, right? Control the open file and so on. In any case, I hope the answer is clear here. Knight c4 is not like automatic in this position because the pawn will always be a weakness here, right? The pawn will always be targeted. If you play knight c4 here, maybe I can just take on b5 and so on. So white has a distraction here with the b pawn. Wow, it took us a long time to go over this example. I thought it would be a little faster. So if you play b5 instantly, then it's not like that, because then white can at some point move away the rook and maybe send the knight. We don't have the same kind of distraction. Be wary of automatic moves. I agree. Chess is very much about adapting your plans to what the opponent does. So okay, here comes Princess' clever question. What if white says, no, I don't want to play b4? So we looked at that, right? Queen e2. I try the same logical moves. I put my rook on c1 like that, and I'm hoping I can now get ready to play b5. So what I saw here was that black could play e5, which is ultimately the move that they would like to play. And later on try to play f5 and put the bishop on e6. Knight h4, and I would put my queen here, Sui. That was the last move of my variation. That's why I have it here. I didn't find it myself, yeah. Something like that. Now there is no b5, probably. Too much pressure on this side. But now I can play a little on the king side. Like I can go f5 maybe. But I don't know. Maybe white could play b4, and who knows? Hell breaks loose here in this position. Not sure what would happen. I have some move like that. It looks like the other example we had. You remember? Anyone remembers the first example that we looked at in these classes? It was very much like this. I don't know. I would guess I could play rook a2 here maybe. Queen f3 here. Yeah, many moves that we can play. In retrospect, maybe we can agree that he should perhaps not have played b4. Maybe it was a mistake. And then you notice how complex is this topic. We said all the time that play a3, b4, push the majority, and here it was wrong. What can I say? Chess is a difficult game, right? So let's continue. Let's leave this confusing example, but I hope you picked up a few things from it, and we go to a much easier example to understand. All right. King h7 was played. Black's about to play b5. What did the Russian grandmaster do about that? Okay, guys, you can seek inspiration from the previous example, and this will be easy for you, all right? Let's see if I can get it right. You get 1 minute and 30 now, so you have a little more time to think. Interesting patriots. I mean, that's very thematic if you play like that. I guess I'll play b5. You can't get e5 in, right? I take on d5. Majorities, the same goes for you. I will play b5. Careful with the Benoni. When you don't control the game, you can get punished very badly. When you let black get away with b5, for instance, it can have devastating consequences. All of you who want to play f4 here, kindly let me know what's your reply to b5. Like I'm saying, you can't go e5, I guess, because d takes e5, f takes e5, knight f takes d5. I'm just cashing in. Okay, sorry, I should go a little down and see what else you have to say. e5 at move 1. That's very surprising. D takes e5, d6, knight e6. My knight's going to d4. Young Jal, Nicole, and Happy Pawn. I mean, I like your idea very much, but I will take that pawn. RKDK, we have a winner. Congratulations. So Random and Brian, I'll give you half a point. The problem is that you're not vacating the long diagonal, right? tactically that can play against you. You will be pinned, maybe. The knight will be pinned, right? That's why he didn't play that. Vision, awesome oven, another apple. I'm sorry, I don't really believe in that move. Usually it's the opposite now. We try to tie them down. We don't want to open up the B file. So we had two winners here, RKDK and Fianchetto. Please go ahead, Fianchetto. How did you continue here? What's wrong with that? No problem. We will look into all your answers. Have patience, please, Princess. Rook AB1. What Ryazantsev has noticed here is that he cannot stop B5. There is no other piece which can hold down the B5 break. So we have to live with that. We play Rook B1, so that after B5, we can play just like in the other example. We take, if they take with the pawn, as soon as we can, we play ourselves here the move. B4, exactly. So if black takes, we can take back. Sometimes you can play this sneaky move. Here you can see why it's good to have the rook out of the diagonal, right? But you can also take the pawn probably, and you can then put pressure on this pawn. So usually black does not take with the pawn on B5. Almost always they like to take with the knight instead. And that's what happened in this game. The knight would like to come to D4. Yeah, this pattern is very common, Happy Pawn. It's very common. They took with the knight. Interestingly here, if you ask me about pattern recognition, I would say we should take with the knight. With the bishop. I firmly believe that in this position, the knight is better than the bishop. But there is a tactic here. There was a tactic that the grandmaster noticed. So if you compare this with the other position, with the position with the knight on like this, right? This looks more beautiful, you have to agree, with the knight here, and the other knight can come there. If they play c4, we're in heaven here, we're in heaven. We can play something like knight here, maybe send the knight over, or you can put the bishop there. Beautiful position for white. Now, fantastic to play this. Please remember this pattern. However, there is a tactic here. Black has a very smart move that the grandmaster noticed. So I'll quiz that on you, all right? Black to play, please remember, you don't want to play c4. You don't want to play c takes b4. If you play c takes b4, it's basically the same thing. You end up with a lot of targets. So, sneaky move by black. Let's see your tactical skills here. Let's see who can notice this. The grandmaster noticed, and that's the reason why he did not play like this. Speaking of pawn majorities, here we go. You get 1 minute and 30, okay? Tactics helping strategy. That will be my piece of advice. Oh, that's a strange move. I'll move the rook, Freya. Oh, no, that's another move. Sorry. I'll move the rook in that case. Rook fc1. The bishop is ugly on a6. Let me say that. The bishop is ugly on a6 if you can't play b4. Patriots and Sui. If I go knight a4. Wow. Complex position. I guess I have to go knight a4. What do you want to play next? Bishop a6, queen a5. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's possible what you're saying. Many of you wanted to play like that. I think that's okay also then. Don't play c4. Yeah, don't take on b4, whatever you do. Young Dial, you were basically on the right track. Yeah, invade on c4. Half a point for that solution. Wow, many good options here maybe for black then in that case. I see all kinds of moves here. There was somebody who was very close. Who was very close here? HDI, you were very close. Okay, so some kind of tactics now. Tactics helping strategy. Black doesn't want to block their queenside pawns. They want to push those pawns. So I would say closest to the supposed solution was HDI and smart goldfish. And many of you wanted to play b4 on move 2, which I think is okay also. Anyway, HDI, you were fastest. Requiz. I don't think so. I think we found it now. Very smart move here from black. We don't push, we don't take. What do we do, RKDK? You have the black pawn, I think. Move. Yeah, exactly. Please move. We're waiting. Knight e7. So what's the point of this? Black keeps the tension. We're ready to send the knight in this direction, or we could also send it in that direction. So white would have to take to make this work. You just have to try to snatch this pawn on b5. And now many of you wanted to play b4. So let me think if I can understand this correctly. He didn't give this line in his comments. So what might be the reason here? First question: can I play knight over here and try to? No, that's a horrible move, right? You take like that. Yeah, sorry about that. That's terrible. I should send the knight in that direction, right? Knight a4 and queen a5 hitting the knight. So what does this mean? I'm trying to compare this with variation. Yeah, um, knight b6 maybe. Is that possible? Could I play like that? Ah, you're saying that princess and mecha and so on. I think so. This is better than the variation I think he offered, or is it not? I actually don't know. This looks fantastic for black also. This looks great for black. Look at these past pawns. Yeah, I don't think this is a good. Maybe knight c4. Can I play like that and claim I can block the pawn? Send the rook over. Looks horrible though. Or what do you think? But you see, an entertaining battle. No, white has majority here and black has majority there. Bishop c3 comes at any moment here. I think. Yeah, exactly, Tori. I don't think it's possible, maybe, or it was possible. Maybe it was possible also. Yeah, I can see the tactics so quickly. Um, Looks like it's possible, right? Takes and take on d2. So maybe it's the same then. If you said b4 on move 2, consider yourself winners. The Grandmaster gave this move in his comments. I guess it's slightly more forcing, no? This move it installs the threat of bishop takes. But anyway, yeah, maybe both are possible, no? And if Ren rook c1, please continue. Yeah. What about knight? Yeah, we will come to that. So b4, that's what he said in his comments. b4, and if the knight moves somewhere, we just take and clear advantage for black, I think he was saying. I think the problem here is that black's pawns are very fast. No, white's pawns they can also push, but somehow it's not the same thing. This pawn can get a little weak also. I don't know if you believe in that. Like you go f4 here, what would black play? Anyone who plays the Benoni here who understands this, would you just play like bishop a6 or bishop e7? How would you arrange your pieces here? Bishop a6 says Santos. All right, and I go e5 just to have some fun, to see what happens if both sides pursue their plan. And we go c4. Yeah, talking about pawn majorities now. I think black's pawns are much more dangerous. Yeah, if you play e6, for instance, you're far away from queening. I can take and put my knight somewhere. The king is relatively safe also, right? These are just monsters in the long run, right? These pawns. And you can play d6 and claim that you have a beautiful pawn chain, but I think black is faster in this position. So yeah, I don't like this for white. Yeah, I don't believe in this too much. I wanted to show some examples later about using the kingside pawn majority. It's often connected to an attack. I don't think we will have time today, but next time we can look into that. So in any case, that's the reason I think. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Somebody was asking here. What about my move? They were saying. What about knight e5 at this point? I guess the first question is c6. Whoever said that. Somebody said this. Santos, I think, said this, right? I go c6 and yeah. If I can keep this together, which I'm not sure I can, but if I could, it's good for me long term, right? You have to agree. But maybe I can't now. Yeah, I don't know. Queen a5, probably Santos will say now. Yeah, exactly. I can read your mind. So did I put the queen on the wrong square? Maybe I should have gone to d3 instead, right? So I can play bishop d4. Maybe that's smarter, right? Queen a5 and I go bishop d4. Yeah, you're playing like playing high stakes here, right? In this position. Queen f6, somebody's saying here. Yeah, that's easy for me. I use my useless knight coming back. Bishop d4. So yeah, don't play this, please. Don't play this, all right? Don't play this. We saw a very nice variation here that others were saying with b4 or queen a5 in the order that you prefer. So for that reason, the Grandmaster, he took instead with the knight. And now you can see the difference, right? Anyone explain to me the difference? What if black goes knight e7 now? Exactly, Chessbeat, you're right. Chessbeat, who was it who wanted to talk? Somebody wanted to talk. Exactly, now we can take the pawn. As simple as that, the pawn was hanging, right? While in the other line, it was not hanging, correct? In the other line, after b takes, the knight is here, black can play queen a5, counterattack, or you can play b4, hitting the knight. While in our variation, we cannot do that because we have cleverly kept the bishop instead. So there is no kind of counterattack here. If knight e7 pawn takes, we simply don't have a good move. We hang that pawn. White can take that pawn next turn. So, and no knight hanging, exactly. No knight is being attacked. So black played at this point c4, and everybody can guess what white played here. What did he play in the game? Anyone? Of course, I can ask chess beat. Are you there, chess beat? What did white play? Beautiful move. Bishop d4. So this happened in the game. Later on, white has a nice plan here. They would like to bring the rook to a5 and target this pawn. Some maneuver with the knight. Hopefully the knight can come over to c3. This would be like the dream square for the knight. Please notice that chess engines, they kind of like these pawns with c4. They don't look at them so pessimistically like I do. They like it with such pawns, space and so on. But well, anyway, even here the engine likes white's position. So this is what happened. Bishop takes, king takes. He played f4 here. Later on, he brought the knight over, and he had a clear advantage sending the knight. Yeah, rook a. This is also a good plan. Yeah, exactly. Just be careful with some tactics or something. So basically, we had this position. Black played king h7. We will do the recap now. I mean, we will do the requiz. Please remember that little tactical twist that we talked about. I think that will be enough. So you get 1 minute for this, all right? Or is that too much? No, they didn't win in the end. It was a draw in the end. He made some mistakes later on, the Patriots. Oh, h4, h5. That's a crazy plan. Not connected to Benoni logic, if you ask me. Gordon, you got it. Sue, you got it. We will come to that, Princess. Yeah, I won't leave you unattended. No, we will talk about that. So a lot of students got this right. Gordon, Sui, RKDK, Princess, Fianchetto, Ararat, Happy Pound, Chess Out, Young Dial, Chess Crusher, Metamortis, Wish, Dada, Apple, Awesome, Owen. Brian, you also got it right. Classical plan in these structures, play b4, stop them from playing b4. We don't care about the protected pass pawn on c4 because we have such nice control. Gordon, maybe you can raise your hand, else it's impossible to find you. If you like. Else I can, exactly. Please, oh, what happened here? Some kind of, I know you didn't say that move, sorry. Some kind of technical mistake. Yeah, don't play a5, by the way. You just helped me, right? You helped me. So please go ahead, Gordon, at this point. Can I raise my hand? I can. Good for you. You can raise your hand. That's freedom and democracy and all that. Exactly. So b5, black got what they wanted. Keep planning the Benoni, play b5, push the queens at pawn majority. However, white found a very smart antidote here, b4. Like I'm saying, we're not afraid of this connected pass pawn. It would be bad for white in the pawn endgame, of course. If you got to pawn endgame, rook endgame is bad. But as long as you have minor pieces. Yeah, should I write that? Good structure, but minor pieces are needed on white's side. No, I hope this is understandable, right? Black would love to have heavy pieces here, but we need at least one minor piece which can block the pawn. So bishop d4, and it's hard to play black in this position. Knight e7 was played in the game just for fun. Let's say I play bishop d7, Gordon, what would you play then? I didn't play like in the game, I mean. I'm confusing you now. I didn't play like in the game. Just for fun, just to see how you would continue. f4, okay, nice. Ambitious move. I guess I go rook e8 then. I try to hit this pawn. You can perhaps just defend it. Yeah, I think you're right. Thanks for showing us this move. Very clever. So basically, white is interested now in pushing their majority. I guess that explains why black was so eager to trade off the bishops. They were afraid of this. And with good reason. No, we have no counterplay on this side. It's frozen on this side. So yeah, good point. That's why they played probably knight e7. And now it's not so easy for us to break through. In the very worst case, they can play f6. So the grandmaster, he played this anyway, but he used it for this plan, I think. Yeah, last comment here. Don't play h4 ever in the Benoni structure if possible. The move h4, should I write that maybe? The move h4 makes more sense in the King's Indian than in the Benoni. Yeah, because there is a concrete reason for this. There is a concrete reason. Anyone knows the concrete reason why you don't do that? One of many reasons, maybe. Yeah, you can send a knight to e5. If you send a knight to e5, maybe I wouldn't allow this here, right? I would play h5 myself. Usually you play these two moves, and then you send a knight to e5, and when they go f4, you go knight d4. Basically, this harms you because if you now go f4, you always give me this square for my pieces. While in the King's Indian, it's like a different structure. You have a pawn on f3 maybe. Yeah, I can't really explain, but yeah, as far as I know, you don't play like that. It's actually more common to play h3 in some positions, like if black plays h5. But yeah, best reason it looks funky in Benoni. Yeah, okay, a good explanation, Tori, that everybody understands. So I had one more example on this topic. I think that will be our last example uh, for today. It's from another structure. I can't really tell you which structure this was from, so we will see. Game between Korpa with white and Mitcha with the black pieces. I bet you haven't seen this game, but I bet you can find black's next move here. So anyone, what would you play here with the black pieces? Should I quiz you on this? The best move is the most intuitive move, okay? Like most of you would play instantly here, like Chessbeat and Lily and Princess, Metza, Freya, Gordon, and everybody else. Oh, this was very easy for you. So basically, we're back on the same page again. Majorities and minorities, 3 versus 2 on the queen side. We should push those pawns, and that's exactly what they played in this game. So who was fastest here? Chessbeat, you were the fastest, but everyone else got it right also. Lillian, Princess, Metza, Vish, Brian, Ararat, Freya, Sui, Gordon, Awesome, Owen, Nicole, Patriot, Story, Chess, Art, Sarthak, and many others. So please go ahead, Chessbeat. You can raise your hand very quickly. There we go. You were second. Okay, good for you, Lily. Second place, not bad. C5, that's what he played, of course, in this game. Trying to get some activity, getting rid of the, how do you say, backwards pawn also, right? So at this point, what should white play? Yeah, we can certainly not take the pawn. The knight is hanging. So the question is, how undermining the knight? Yeah, that's a good way to put it also. So the question is, should we just push our fancy kingside pawn majority, or should we do something more subtle? I will leave that to you guys to find out, okay? You'll get 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute, yeah, because we are a little low on time. So 1 minute, try to find white's best rejoinder in this position. Please notice that I cannot take them before now. Lily, you found it in 3 seconds. I should have given you less time, everybody. Owen, second place, Nicole, third place. This was easy for you. Interesting. So, many of you wanted to play f4 on move 1 here. Aha. Black has a very interesting reply in that case. I know with 1 minute it's hard to see all the subtleties, of course. But black has something interesting after f4. We will talk about that. So, congratulations to Lily, Owen, Nicole, Sui, Sarthak, Vish, Chess, Art, and everyone else who got this right. And those of you who wanted to play, oh, a4, interesting. A4, yeah, what will I play in that case? I take on a4, I think, if you play a4. And I try to take your b4 pawn, right? Those of you who said that, maybe. Anyway, Lily was fastest. Now it would be a crime not to give them the move here. So the knight was useless anyway. I guess that's another way to understand it, beyond pawn structures and things like that. Please go ahead. Oh, sorry, I gave it to the wrong student. Please go ahead, Lily. What did you play here? Knight b3, exactly. The knight leaves. I cannot take. The queen is hanging. The pawn is being attacked, like takes and rook c1 coming up maybe. And after c4, we see where that knight is going. Fork, I need to protect. And only now, with the black queenside pawn majority reasonably frozen, we start our own attack on the king side. Okay, we will look, of course, at the other moves. So we won't leave anyone in the dark here. So if you play f4, black had a very funny move to get counterplay, all right? Black has a funny move to get counterplay. Let's see who can see that funny move to get counterplay. At least I thought it was kind of entertaining. Let's see if I can get this right. Something like that. All right. That's right, or KDK. Oh, you can play knight h5 on move 1 also. Maybe, yeah. What would I play in that case? If I go king h2, I think I know what you want to play, right? I think I will play queen f2 maybe instead. Can I? No, I cannot play queen f2. Then I let you take on b4. So many of you found this. Yeah, excellent. This was not so difficult. Uh-huh. Your moment has come, beta chess. Your moment has come. You're the indicated student for this. I think it. Oh, sorry. I think it works, Gordon. We will come to that. Don't worry. We will come to that. So, what was your idea here, beta? What did you want to play? White has a majority, but we can use our minority to soften up their majority, right? Exactly. Play g5. Strange move now, but works surprisingly well. If I take on g5, my power structure is in ruins now. Where would you put the knight now? Yeah, not difficult. Exactly. You're hitting this pawn. I don't know. It's hit twice now, so I probably have to move it. And you can guess where that knight would like to go. We don't need to calculate so many variations here, right? We can just see that black has. Oh, there. Sorry, that didn't. I didn't see that with my pattern recognition. But yeah, interesting. Maybe you can do that also. I would probably go to f4 like Bob Fischer and Happy Pawn and so on. Or Gordon was saying knight f4. Yeah, I stopped calculating here. I just see I get the dark squares. I can maybe put the knight there and so on. Looks very nice for black. I hope you see what I mean. And this plan of c4 gets more interesting now that we can maybe put the knight on d3. Yeah, anyway, so g5 is a very interesting move here. f5 would have like the same problem now. It's freezing white's pawns now in some way. You could probably just go back with the rook and then we install a knight. Or anyone can see something smarter? You want to play Petrosian style? Just give up the exchange like that. Yeah, beautiful move. I guess you could play that also. But if you don't want to risk, you could probably play rook there. Lily says go to a6. Well, that's a strange square for the rook, but if you say so. I don't have e5, right? No, because you can always take on e5. Aha. Okay, Lily, I don't want to argue with you. That can probably also be played. To me, it made more sense to just stay around on this side. But okay, we're attacking here, and yeah. Anyway, it's a luxury situation. No, anything works. So e5 should be the most critical move. What did you want to play now? Knight h5, exactly. So funny situation now. White managed to push their pawns, but they are weak. They don't have enough support. If I play now f5, now you need to be Petrosian. Yeah, Petrosian wakes up now. Of course, don't think twice about it. This just has to be played. And I think you can take back in different ways. I don't know what you like the most. What I do see here is that, yeah, with the rook maybe. So I see your point of view, right? You don't want to have the rook hanging. Although I think you could take like that also. They can't exactly attack the knight. But okay, rook takes e5. What would white play here? Yeah, this is just very ugly for white. The pawn is hanging. And if I move it, yeah, we don't need to think twice about the next move here, right? And we can probably stop calculating here. So what's the exact difference with the move order? Yeah, we will come to that, Tori. So those of you who wanted to play knight h5 first, where are we here? I was thinking that I play. Oh, I can't play queen f2. Yeah, we talked about that because you take then, right? I can't move the queen because I need to block the black queen. So what would I play in that case? Can I defend it with some other piece? Rook e3, can I play that? Or it's king h2. I didn't want to put my king in the line of fire, Happy Pawn. That's why I didn't play it. But bishop f3. I have a very bad feeling about this. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tori. Yeah, like that. Queen c3 says Ararat. Maybe that's smarter. Yeah, I don't want to put my king there if possible. Queen c3. Maybe that's a difference then. You put your queen on c3. But then you can still play g5. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a good argument. So probably it's like we had earlier today. Multiple ways work, right? As long as you keep the right idea. Is there a move queen f3? Is this a difference or no? No, not really, no, because my queen side collapses then. So all roads lead to Rome, exactly, Happy Pawn. I think you're right in that. So basically that's those of you who wanted to play the move c5. Those of you who wanted to play the move f4. I hope you're convinced now by this, right? You're convinced that black could play with knight h5 or g5, and the center would be white's dark squares would be a little shaky. So that's the reason why he played. Should I quiz you again on this? I think I will quiz you again. Okay, here we are. I'll quiz you again just for fun. Wait for me one moment. We will do this again. I want everybody to be on the right track. First, we neutralize their majority, and then we push our majority. What do you think about that? Does that sound convincing? But I will give you more moves. I'll give you more moves this time. or maybe not. Yeah, we will go up to that point only. Okay. Does knight c5 instead of c5 work? Knight c5, that's a very strange move. Okay, good work, Mecha, Ararat, Chessbeat, Princess. Everyone else who got it right here. Where are we? Sorry. Lily, Sui, Cesar, Freya, Vish, Yongjel, Happy Pawn. Finally, the time is right to push our pawns. Awesome, Owen, Nicole. Chess Crusher, Fianchetto. So I think Freya, you're the lucky one on this one. No, Freya, you have to show us on this occasion if I can see this correctly. Rook AD1. Yeah, good move. Also RKDK in Smart Goldfish. Maybe I go knight E5 there, RKDK in Smart Goldfish. I send the knight, or I can't play that. Oh, knight E5, F4, knight E3, rook takes D3. Okay, half a point if you played rook AD1. That's a good classical move. Bring all the friends to the party and things like that. Please go ahead, Freya. You will have to raise your hand. Yeah, exactly. Smart thinking. So first, we put pressure on this pawn. They can probably not keep it there for a long time, so they played in the game c4. Again, you can see, by the way, we talked about this with like waiting for the opponent's move. The move g5 will not make sense, right? If I haven't played f4, the move g5 makes no sense. It's just like a weakness in that case, perhaps. If you see what I mean. Like if you go g5 here, maybe I will play something like that, and I'll put my knight here, and maybe I can even later send a knight towards f5 or something like that. Or maybe that is something smarter. But I would play something like that, I think, and maybe I can redirect the knight, and I have other ideas coming up, right? So anyway, I'm just saying the move g5 is clever, but only when white has played f4. So anyway, back to business here. Yeah, knight b3, c4. Please continue. Rook b6, strange place for the rook. And now time is right to push the pawns. If you played rook ad1, I think it's perfectly fine. Like we were saying, I would love to play knight e5, but then you will play f4, of course, because tactics allow you to play like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Exactly. Yeah. So in the last move, the last move was after f4. They played g5 in the game. Yeah, he understood this also. The black player, they needed active counterplay. Knight h5. But now it's different. I mean, just a very quick look for you to see the difference. This, and you should compare it with, wait for me one moment, please. We should compare it with, where is the other line? The one that we looked at. Was it like this? We had this on the board, right? Or did we not? We had, right? Something like this. Different now. The knight is far away, and the pawns, they feel more shaky and so on. So yeah, that line with f4 first, exactly. So now instead we have this position, big difference. Now the knight is closer to the action. We can push e6. The rook is tied to the pawn and so on. So I think there were many moves for white here, but he played in a nice way here, white. And this one is difficult. This move is complex. So anyone, tell me, what would you play with white here? Attacking idea with white. A complex move, I believe. E6 this is not my hand. No, it's Freya's hand playing e6. I like the idea. No, I guess I would take back and hope for the best. Queen f5. I mean, at this point, right? Queen f5 looks like you're inviting me to play something like g6 and try to trap your queen. Or maybe I cannot do that. This guy is also hanging. I don't know. Can I play like that? It gets like really strange this game now, right? I don't know. Do you have control here? Whoever said this? Queen f5. Lily, maybe. Yeah, you're right, Tori. Congratulations. You have found the right move. Did you see all the points with the move? Beautiful move. You found it. Please continue. Cannot. Yeah, bishop d5. That's what he played in the game. This move, you can understand it in different ways. One way, of course, is that we're pushing e6. Freya's idea, but with better support. Another idea is that you have some kind of like tactical ideas on this side, and they can't put a rook here, for instance, or things like that. And maybe third idea is that you can sometimes bring the queen to g2. So that's what he played, bishop d5. Black didn't dare to take this pawn. A question, anyone smart retreating move here? Anyone? Can you find a smart retreating move? For some reason, e6 was not the best move here. Yeah, the game gets extremely complex here. I can't really tell you. Yeah, you're right, Tori, knight f3. That was what the computer had to say about this. The computer saw that this is coming, and then that is coming. Like if I take Tori on f4, what would you play? Yeah, you don't need to be Mikhail Tal to see the next move. Yeah, I'm completely busted here, right? So interesting. Bishop d4. Oh, I'm not after the exchange in this position, right? We are not silicon brains. Yeah, we certainly are. But I think Tori found this without any use of the chess engine, right? Sending the knight in this way. We're just like thinking about where would you like to put your pieces and so on. But I admit it's a complex line. So bishop d5. That's what he played in the game, and Black was desperate at this point. Black was desperate. They played knight takes e5, but that basically means that yeah, it's like early resigns now. Pawn takes, and he just went back with the bishop. And Black got material advantage. Sorry, they got material balance now. However, the minor pieces are strong in the endgame. The minor piece strong in the endgame. Anyone? What do you think? The Hungarian grandmaster played at this point. Not so difficult, no. If Black is playing knight, you can stop calculating. I would think so too. Good thinking, Mecha and Lily and Patriots. Don't play rook e8, even if it's winning, guys. If it's winning, don't play it. Try to be a little practical, all right? Why would you go for mate now when you have a good endgame? Remember, when the pawns fight against the piece, the pawns like to be together, right? You have connected pass pawns or something like that. Not exactly the case here. You're hanging a rook on e1, Santos, Sui, Sheng, Happy Pawn, and Young Jiao. Some of you got overexcited here. You're hanging this. Some of you wanted to play rook e8. Yeah, don't play this. Even if the computer says plus 10, don't play it. Don't play it. Don't mess up things more than you need to, okay? Absolutely not necessary. We will ask Fianchetto. Please go ahead, Fianchetto. What was your preferred move in this position? Don't feel bad. Yeah, we are tired after 1 hour of looking at pawn majorities. Don't feel bad, anyone. Queen f2, beautiful thinking. Bye-bye attacking chess. Now we go for the endgame. The minor pieces are way stronger than Black's pawns. For a starter, this pawn is blocked. And yeah, if they take, we take back. And this is going to be an easy ride for White. Yeah, now you can play your move rook e8. Now I fully believe in your move rook e8. Try to attack the pawns. I don't know. Many possibilities in this position, right? So queen f2. Black didn't want to trade queens. They played here something else. I think they went back with the queen to c7. And White played knight e2. Yeah, White was clearly better here. They stopped this move. What happened in the game? Yeah, not so interesting. I'm moving very quickly here. Yeah, something like that, and they soon prevailed in this game. The pawn is hanging. So yeah, little messy the last part of the game, but I like the first part of the game. So I think that's what we will go over once more. Black played c5. It's your move here, guys. Tell me how you think we should continue here. Try to neutralize first their pawn majority and then push yours. And don't forget the beautiful bishop move that we talked about. We will use the line that I think Tori was saying, all right? The mating line, okay? If you play your cards wisely, you end up mating me here or something like that. Okay, let's do it like that just to have some fun. If you play your cards wisely, you mate me here in the last moment. So, who mates me? Beta chess, we said that was not fully optimal. Lily, you're the first, Santos second, Young Jiao third, Sui fourth, Happy Pawn fifth, Mecha Mortis sixth, and then we have more students. Yeah, Tori, Fianchetto, Brian, Freya, and so on. Yeah, excellent work. Many of you got this right, such as, for instance, Yong Jiao. Please raise your hand, Yong Jiao. You will have the last word today, if you're so kind to raise your hand. It's no obligation, of course. Where is Yong Jiao? Here. All right. So, first, neutralize the pawn structure, freeze the pawn structure. The pawn is in a very shaky state. Pins coming up, so they probably have to play c4. After that, their pawn majority, it's not so dangerous anymore. We can start pushing our pawns, and Black went for counterplay. If they don't play that, by the way, yeah, you can see for yourself, White is like rolling over them here in this position. e5, e6, queen takes g6, and so on. So they correctly went for active counterplay, but White's pieces were better coordinated. And this beautiful move, I really like it, bishop e5, really smart move. Hitting them on the light squares now somehow. Maybe queen f5 is coming now. Some of you were saying queen f5, but we can keep it in the pocket now. If we prepare it, it's even stronger. And if black then takes this poisoned pawn, there will be a strong attack here. Yeah, everything is correct for white now. Knight f3, the knight is going towards g5, and yeah, I was getting mated. We already went over it, exactly. So we are learning by repeating Majorities in chessable fashion. So yeah, beautiful. Please don't remember what we talked about. C5, knight b3, block it, and then push your own pawn majority. Thanks everyone who attended today. Thanks to chess.com, thanks to Chessable, and to USCS, Greg Shahadi. Thanks to Chess Dojo. See you next week then, or in 2 weeks, I think, because we have Thanksgiving coming up. So see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.